Welcome to Woodbury. Should we give that a round of applause? The Woodbury Area Chamber of Commerce, in partnership with the Corridor Commission and the Gateway Corridor Commission and the St. Paul Area Chamber of Commerce, are just so glad that you're here this morning. Woodbury saw 10 new commercial buildings being constructed in 2014. That's a total of $19.4 million to the tax base. Commercial reinvestment last year, they pulled 150 permits, and that was reinvestment money of $33.3 million to just Woodbury. New businesses, this is where it gets interesting. In 2013, we had 52 new businesses. In 2014, we had 86 new businesses. And we did 70 ribbon cuttings.
It was really cool this morning to hear as we went around the room, and Barb, thanks for having everybody do that, because I hope people caught two things. One, let's remember where we are. We're in a great institution that is part of the future workforce for every employer in the metropolitan area. So Globe is training the people that are going to be working at every business that is in this room. Globe is training the people who are going to be this future workforce that we need, that we all know demographics is destiny. We need every person educated. And I thought it was very interesting when we talked about some of the issues for businesses. Metropolitan Council knows at Metro Transit, 80% of the riders on Metro Transit are either going to or from work or they're going to or from school. They're training to be future workers. We have challenges in the East Metro, but what I heard in the room today was representation from lots of people who are committed to working together to making this line happen. And that's not easy. Lots of different political agendas, lots of different priorities, but a shared perspective that the business and political willpower in the East Metro is focused on Gateway, and that's a huge win for all of us.
I've met with hundreds of students over the last 5-6 years, students who are interested in career training, the training that we provide here at Globe University. And I hear countless times that they have trouble paying for gas, owning a car, or in the new millennials, not wanting to own a car. And they can't make it here to Globe University because they often live in St. Paul and the surrounding areas. And so when I heard about the Gateway Corridor startup and the planning for it, I immediately started joining in on the meetings to speak for our students and to let everyone know how important this is for the upcoming generation.
So it was just a pleasure to be on that tour. I learned so much. But when we got to 3M, it was amazing to me to hear what Doug Stang had to say about why they now decided to become part of the Gateway Corridor. And they looked at their issues within their organization, and they're growing so much. They have a changing, they're going to have a changing workforce. They have a lot of people that are retiring in years to come. They have parking issues that are monumental. And they have decided now to come on board and to be part of actually having a stop right on their campus. One of the things I hear from employers on a regular basis, just like 3M, is, well, they have transportation issues, their employees have transportation issues, but more importantly, they can't get the worker out on this end of town that they need to work within their business. And they're excited to have the Gold Line help them be able to market for jobs outside of the Woodbury area.
Securian couldn't be here this morning, but they asked me to convey to you a couple pieces of information. Securian is 135 years old, over 1 million square feet of office space in downtown St. Paul, 2,500 employees, and 65% of them live in the East Metro. They visualize Gateway in that dedicated guideway. People are going to be sitting on the highway, and Securian employers are going to be screaming along at 65 miles an hour in their bus, going right to Union Depot, walking through the skyways into downtown St. Paul. That's a huge victory.
When we looked to place our operations center 13 years ago, one of the things that the developer had stated in this office park, if you're not familiar with it, it's like kitty corner from the Machine Shed restaurant. There wasn't any bus transportation out there at the time, but it was coming. Well, here we are. We've been in the location for over 12 years, and it's still coming. We have also grown exponentially. When we moved in, we had 248 employees. We now have over 500. We have one heck of a tough time with recruitment. We have entry-level positions all the way up to high-level technology positions. And our recruitment efforts are very difficult getting anyone from the St. Paul area.
And I want to thank the Gateway Corridor and everybody involved, those willing to come to the table at the very beginning of this process, for doing your due diligence and picking the better value in bus rapid transit. You know, if you look at a transit map of the metro area, it kind of looks like a C. Halfway around is transit, and you get to the East Metro, and there's nothing. There wasn't anything planned, not even road improvements. So the Gateway Corridor, the Gold Line, is a cost-effective approach that broadens the opportunity for economic development, as well as moving people to entry level on up to high-level positions. This is a great bipartisan effort. In addition, I'm going to continue, I think Paul said it's important to engage our riders and hear from them. But in addition to working on this portion of it, I look forward to working, hopefully we can continue express bus service. That's something I hear from people. As well as I'm looking at the 494, 694 exchange and improvements to that as well. It's the second most highly traveled exchange. So it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to work with all of you. And I look forward to continuing our working relationship through this process. Thank you so much.
Representative Fenton nailed something, which is, you know, a lot of times we hear about transit and everyone assumes that we look for the, no pun intended, the gold-plated solution. The Gateway Corridor Commission did a rigorous examination of alternatives and chose the most cost-efficient solution for the ridership we had and the area we had. And Representative Fenton, thank you so much.
Welcome again. And I do again want to thank and recognize all of the leadership for all of the Gateway Corridor Commission members who are here. Ramsey County Commissioner Rafael Ortega has outstanding leadership in this, excuse me, on this initiative. Jim McDonough, Ramsey County, also, we really appreciate all of your support. There's been a lot of tutoring, coaching for me. I've learned a lot. They are experts in this field. And then I really appreciate having Commissioner Ted Berth as my wingman. He's a great ally. You did hear representatives from Globe talking about how the transit serves the current transit, the express routes serve the campus. I hear this all the time from constituents, further to Councilmember Rebholz's comments. This is one of the top things that I hear about from constituents.
I have no stronger supporter than Congresswoman McCollum and the work she does in advocating for supportive transit. You know, at a federal level, complex, lots of moving parts. We're really fortunate to have a congressperson who every day says, how do we drive this forward in the East Metro?
Thank you for all of you for being here this morning. I feel like I'm preaching to the choir. You all have been so invested and supportive and eager to learn about how this works, how it can work, how it will help our communities. And I welcome the new people who have joined the choir, because I think that we're going to need your voices. Before Representative Fenton leaves, I want to thank her for carrying water. I carried this bill in the previous session. Kelly's carrying it this session, and I'm second author on it. There's going to be a great demand for the few dollars, relatively few dollars that are available. So if we want to see this move forward, we're all still going to have to keep working. If we lose this step, we're going to be challenged in ways that we just can't imagine. And I would encourage you to please continue your work. Thank you for the work that you've done so far, and don't give up.
We did have 3 letters. I mentioned Senators Housley and Senator Kent. Senator Sieben also sent a letter of support, all 3. And so in lieu of reading these in their entirety, I'm going to do a quick pull quote. Senator Sieben, high-level support from the business community. Let's remind legislators of both parties, the business community wants this. It's how we get workers to and from their jobs. It's how we get people out to Globe University so they train for their future job. Senator Kent, deeply grateful to the business community. And perhaps I can close with this. Senator Housley, it's our turn. So let's make this an East Metro win. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thanks everyone.